I want to thank you for coming to Stanford on behalf of the Taiwan Democracy Program. I just wanted to ask a couple questions to follow up on your visit here. Because I manage the Taiwan Democracy Program, wanted to ask specifically about the influence of Taiwan on the Hong Kong umbrella movement and to what extent your strategies or tactics drew from the experience of, say, the sunflower movement in Taiwan, as the first question.
I think the connection of Hong Kong civic society to Taiwan civic society has been very close since several years ago, because there's some civic organizations intentionally doing this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And I believe that the exchange of ideas from each individuals and each organizers are quite beneficial to facilitate each other's movement. But in terms of very specific strategic decisions, I think these are quite separate movement, and I think they both are occupations, but there's a lot of differences in terms of details. So I think what is really meaningful is that the dynamics and the communication and between two places civic society, including us, we have intense contacts with the Taiwanese activists. So I think that's what help us and help each other.
Okay. Have you both been to Taiwan then? Have you visited?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. How was your experience there? Who did you meet with, or what kinds of things were you interested in when you went there?
I've been there several times, and
okay.
like some are for like tourists, and some are for like visiting some friends in Taiwan, especially for the social movement organizers, and some from different political institutions.
Okay.
Like for Taiwan, for me, is a very beautiful place, and I think what impressed me the most is the people's attitude towards politics, and they treat politics as some daily life conversation, and
very much. Right.
and very casual about it. Is not really alike in Hong Kong. So that I think this culture of discussion in democracy and the attitude towards democracy is what make us love this place.
Yeah, and actually, during the presidential election, Nathan and I have also arrived at Taiwan and just to join the assembly of and to have more observation on MPP and DPP, and especially how those activists in sunflower movement hope to join into election and to bring the voice from the street to the institution. I think how they change the position from just an activist to a politician would be also a reference for us, because we are also trying to found a political party.
Yeah, it's striking to me actually the similar kinds of challenges that many of the Dangwai activists then had to deal with. It's almost like Hong Kong is in an earlier stage of where Taiwan is now.
Yeah.
Okay, interesting. So I wanted to pivot and talk a bit about the founding of a new political party that you've just done. And I wanted to ask you why the decision to found a new political party, particularly given that there's several pan-democratic parties already in the political spectrum. And as you yourself, Nathan, mentioned, the Taiwan example, one of the real achievements of the DPP was really uniting all of the kind of pro-democracy movement activists under a single party umbrella. And so why the different strategy here, or why the decision to go with a new party rather than an existing party?
I think first, as we both are from student organization, but if we are talking about a project that is like keep our eye on 2047, then it is very difficult to run for these kind of campaigns with the with our student identity. So that we decided to to switch from student organizations to form our own political institution. And the reason why we wanted to push this newly formed institution is that we think that self-determination is the new political agenda of Hong Kong, and we are devoted to push this agenda into the level of Hong Kong's political debate, or even the international level. So that was not the Pan Democrats were
Okay.
upholding at that moment. And we hope that our experience in civic movement and our notion of self-determination could combine each other, and then could have influence whether on the street or in the council. So that's the reason why we want to have that the new political party.
Okay, so would it be accurate then to say that a major difference between your new political party and the pre-existing pan-democratic parties is a focus on self-determination?
Yes.
That's okay. Great. So going forward, now that you have this new political party, I know you're running for LegCo.
Maybe
planning, possibly.
Yeah, possibly.
Because this is a longer term project, and you've mentioned 2047 as a kind of end point to this, what would you see as a success in the next 5 years? Say, winning seats in the LegCo, or just getting your kind of brand out there, or your positions known more broadly, or what would you characterize as kind of your near term goals?
I think, well, having a result in the election is important, but it is not the most important one. The most important one is that we could create a political agenda which could unite as many as political organizations as we can to push forward a new wave of political movement. Because I think the most worrying factor in Hong Kong is that we are in a situation that a lot of people are in loss of faith and loss of focus, because the old political agenda set by the Communist Party has been proven that it is wrong, and it could not achieve anything if you follow the path. So that we are in a situation of searching for new concentration, and I think that will be self-determination. So that if you are in 5 years of time, I think if most of the pan-democrats or the long-establishment camp, they agree on this agenda, then we could push forward for a new wave of democratic movement.
Okay. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, what we mean is actually self-determination is a long-term battle for us, and we realize that it's necessary for us both to get the consensus in Hong Kong and also get the international community support. Because what we demand for self-determination, it related to international law, the recognition in the United Nations, and also it would be the long-term strategy or campaign for us to develop in the future. That's why it's necessary for us to found a political party.
Okay, great. So beyond electoral politics, and I know this movement really got its spark out of frustration with Beijing's reluctance to concede on any kind of true universal suffrage in Hong Kong. Beyond the electoral issue, what else do you see needs to happen within Hong Kong's political scene to make it more democratic? What are the things that ideally would change that would help democratize Hong Kong?
If you ask for the criteria or how to get more bargaining power for us to reach towards democracy.
Yeah, I'm thinking more. So in Taiwan, we also have this debate frequently. Taiwan has elections. Taiwan has very vibrant electoral culture and vibrant freedom of speech and a very kind of sensationalist media. But there's a lot of concerns that kind of the deeper facets of democratic consolidation aren't fully there yet. And so what do you see about those? What are the things in Hong Kong that need to be fully developed?
Of course, universal suffrage is just the first step for us to achieve democracy. But the problem is, just take United States as an example.
Yeah.
Even it have the election for every president election, but it's still affected by the tycoons or the businessmen, and actually the big donors in the Wall Street will just dominate whole of the political agenda for those politicians, and it's not the things that I would hope to see. But unfortunately, the things that we face is, until now, we still can't get the primary goal of having universal suffrage. And what we hope is democracy or the autonomy is not just related to we can get the political rights and let people to have the autonomy to choose the chief executive and the legislator. It also related to it's possible to have for us to have a autonomy in economic aspect, and people can live with their, can determine the destiny or determine the future by themselves. And what we realize is not just related to sovereignty. Constitution is also related to the social welfare or labor rights and more things that are close to the daily life. Yeah.
Do you agree with that?
Yes. One thing that we uphold is that the idea of self-determination is not only in the political one, but also how we construct the city as a better place for people to live. And the core value of it is that like democracy is also talking about how to make our lives better. And I think there's a huge problem in Hong Kong in terms of its property and its property. So that those are two major things that I think if we had democracy that we have to deal with.